Hi, I'm Kevin Halsey, owner of Sunstream Saunas, based in Victoria and Vancouver, British Columbia. We've got a video for you here today to talk about the frequency outputs of infrared heaters. And it's something that I often refer to as Micron Myths. I've worked with the saunas for 11 years. I've seen the product evolve, develop, and improve. And there's a big focus in the industry regarding the infrared output from the different types of heaters. If you're looking around for a sauna and you've used some different saunas, you're probably aware that some infrared saunas use ceramic element heaters and some use carbon panel heaters. There's a lot of discussion and debate amongst sauna companies regarding the infrared output of their heaters and what benefits this has for your health. Companies often suggest that their infrared output is somehow more advantageous, more therapeutic than the infrared output from other brands. What I've got with me here today are some graphs. These are known as specular distribution graphs. They chart the amount, the intensity of different frequencies that are emitted from different types of infrared heaters. These are also known as Planck's curve graphs, named after Max Planck, the physicist who won a Nobel Prize when he discovered the formula to predict the specular distribution of a radiating object. We're going to start with a graph on the top of our chart, and this is the lab report measuring the infrared output from a nanocarbon panel that we use in our Sunstream saunas. Here, looking at the graph, this is the test result for a 310 watt nanocarbon panel in the Sunstream sauna. The infrared that is sought after in an infrared sauna, and it's often referred to as the vital rays. These are the frequencies that have been shown to have the greatest health benefits, that are absorbed by human tissue. And these vital rays lie between 5 and 15 microns. Some people will refer to the range of 4 to 14 microns, or even 2 to 25 microns. Here on this graph, I've marked out 5 to 15 microns. And that's shown here between the pink lines on the graph, here and here. Now, the amount of infrared energy put out by the heater is represented by the area under the graph. Essentially, the entire area that lies underneath the curve of the graph. So it's very apparent that the majority of the area under the graph lies between the 5 and 15, marked here by the pink lines. I want to show you for comparison a graph from the same testing laboratory for a ceramic element heater. And we'll look at that now. So here we have a graph, and it's from the same testing laboratory. This is known as spectroscopy, where the specular distribution graph is drawn. I've done the same thing, marked with pink lines the 5 micron and the 15 micron. And again, with the ceramic tube heater, the majority of the output, the area underneath the curve of the graph, certainly the majority of the infrared output of the ceramic tube heater lies between 5 and 15 microns. The purpose for printing up the graphs and describing them to you is to demonstrate that the infrared output of different infrared heaters, whether they're ceramic elements, carbon panels, a variety of other infrared heaters that have been used in the business, all tend to have the majority of their output between 5 and 15 microns. Now, this is contrary to what you may see in many sauna advertisements, because again and again I see companies insisting that they may be the only folks that have infrared output in the therapeutic range, or for some reason their output is significantly different from the heaters used in other saunas. But here we've got examples of two very different infrared heaters, obviously with very similar range of infrared output. This is what I call one of the Micron Myths. That's myth number one. I'd like to move on to myth number two, and I often see in sauna advertisements companies insisting that their heaters have an output of a single micron. Many companies have claimed that their heaters produce 9.4 microns, or perhaps 10 microns. It has been suggested in the health literature that around 10 microns is the most therapeutic, most beneficial for the human body. Sauna companies have picked up on this and decided to insist that their heaters will have an output of a single frequency. Here on the graphs, I've put a green line directly under the 9.4 micron point. Again, as mentioned, the infrared energy is represented by the area underneath the graph, here and here, and it's very obvious that the area underneath one point, be it 9.4 microns or 10 microns or any particular frequency, very obvious that no carbon or ceramic heater can possibly have an output entirely made up of one frequency, but rather the output is always a wide range of frequency. This is simple physics. When carbon or ceramic is heated up, it will always radiate with a range of frequency. We hope this is useful information. I know as I participate in the infrared sauna business and am exposed to literature from different brands, it can be very confusing for consumers to determine what is truth and fact, and perhaps just advertising. I hope this clarifies some issues. We're going to take a quick look at our Sunstream sauna just to show that while micron range is not a key issue because most heaters have the same micron range output, we would like to show you what is important, what is the key issue regarding infrared heaters. So in a moment, I'll step into the sauna here and have a couple more helpful hints for you.